There's new blood coming in addition to the old blood leaving. And Nakayama, thank you. It's cool that it's like these legends are leaving, and then we've got some new names that are like doing good shit there and openly saying, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah, we want to make more Marvel. Oh fuck yeah, absolutely, we're interested in more cross."
Cool. Do you guys know that Marvel's cool?
It'd be sick. We'd love to make a crossover game with more and do more stuff. And they're just straight up saying it.
Speaking of Marvel, congratulations to Xbox. Street Fighter announced today that those Marvel collections are in fact going to come to Xbox next year.
In 2025, Xbox One gets the Classics collection, fighting for collection for Marvel and CVS. So, hey, they're coming. They're coming.
I would also like to announce that Inotria, the last song, that like Italian, maybe Spanish, Bloodborne looking game, has been indefinitely delayed on Xbox because they can't submit it and they can't get anyone to return their calls. This is like the third developer that's like the Xbox port is on hold because we can't get anyone to call us back.
Look, man, Phil Spencer, he's made some mistakes.
Bro, I feel like someone told me this. I feel like he's trying to get fired. I feel like he is walking out in front of a camera going, "I'm bad at my job. I may have made the dumbest mistakes ever. I may not know what I'm doing. You should probably fire me and give me all that golden parachute money."
I remember when I didn't pick up those breakout huge industry titles.
Bro, I did not know they passed on fucking Guitar Hero too. That was one of they passed on Guitar Hero
and Destiny. Those are the two.
Yeah, those are the new ones. Mm-hmm. So like, okay, we passed on fucking Destiny, Guitar Hero, Spider-Man, Genshin Impact, Resident Evil 4.
So they calculated the estimated losses from those decisions?
Oh, did they?
From missed opportunities and the turndowns from 2014, it cost Xbox $69 billion.
Yeah. Oh, they passed on GTA, Grand Theft Auto 3.
Just like fucking $1 gazillion. Like,
just like over and over and over. You're like, that looks like shit. Like Sony, the only one I can think of that Sony like massively fumbled was like the publishing on Demon's Souls, but that game still came out on their platform, right?
And then wait, yeah, okay, Demons, because then Sega and then Atlas, well, Dark Souls after, and then back to Bloodborne,
and then Namco got it,
and now Blood White. Anyway, so he's like, "Whoops, my bad," on those things.
Yeah, I'm not a perfect man.
That's cool.
It's like it has this energy of guy you just caught cheating on you saying, "Well, hey, I'm not perfect. I said I'm not perfect when we got into this relationship. People make mistakes."
Hey, man, the Beatles had a 25% hit rate.
Oh my God, Randy. First of all, let's take that quote by itself. One of the most insane musical takes I've ever heard in my entire fucking life. Right? You can say that the Beatles are like horribly overrated, and you're probably right. But like 25% hit rate, those guys were shitting gold for decades.
For the record, the Beatles released 22 singles throughout their career, and 20 of them were number one hits. So just by singles. 18 in the UK.
Those guys could not stop putting out hits.
Absolute bangers, top to bottom. What the fuck are you talking about?
And also, like, you're going to pick, like, the most famously successful band of all time?
Like,
as the example?
As someone I have used myself, I have said, hey, man, I've said no one bats 1,000, right? I've used that metric.
Nobody bats 1,000.
And I was, and I was like, you could have just said that, but
you could have picked like any band you like that's not the most famous band ever. What the fuck are you talking?
All right.
All
So
right.
anyway, the story being that Randy Pitchford said the Beatles had a 25% hit rate in reference to the disastrous Risk of Rain expansion and Borderlands movie.
So I just so if you're like, hey, how bad could an expansion be for Risk of Rain 2? Well, what happened was Gearbox bought the Risk of Rain 2 like rights, and so they own Risk of Rain now, and so they said, hey, we're gonna put out a expansion, right? And then the programming errors that they made building that expansion are so crazy that the game is now ruined. And I mean, like, the game is now like retroactively ruined, not just the expansion content. I'm seeing bugs like the character select's completely broken, the final boss is invincible, and my personal favorite is if you plug in a second controller, it deletes your save file. They are actually like, the Risk of Rain with that DLC is fundamentally broken.
Compliance neurons are firing, bro.
So people,
Oh
I
my
had
God.
people Twitter me on DMs and say that they were using Randy's tweets about not batting at 25% hit rate and sending that to Steam support to get refunds.
Oh.
And people are getting refunds.
Like the guy
Get your
himself
refund.
said that the thing is considered a failure. Give me my money, please. Wow. Okay. So yeah, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. I like that.
Randy fucked it up. By the way, everyone who worked on Risk of Rain 2 has now been hired by Valve. They all work for Valve now.
Oh.
Huh. If I had to knee jerk a guess, they're going to the Deadlock.
Yes.
Make feel good.
Right
team.
into the Deadlock pit. Then, that's the assumption.
Hey, can you make Deadlock feel as good as a Risk of Rain? And they're like, no. And they're like, can you try? Oh yeah, we'll try.
And then they all made hats forever.
Yeah. Actually, it's not quite like that with Valve because of their self-directed structure. The people who make hats forever at Valve do so because the margins on hats are really good for their personal income.
Because the specifics of selling a hat that gets popular,
the way
you
that
you get something on the back end for that exact item.
The way that it was explained to me a long time ago was that people at Valve get back end percentages on every single thing that they touch.
And if a single item in a store goes up and is a hit,
and you happen to make
the
most banger official hat ever,
that's a new
roll that
man, that makes perfect sense.
That's why Valve hasn't made full games in a while, because you have to compete with one guy going, well, I'm just going to update TF2 with a couple things, and then I'm going to get a percentage of the TF2 shit that I made.
These hats are paying for my house.
They're literally paying for my house. Yeah.
The fuck do you mean? New game. Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
Willie, I got a bunch of guys together and we're going to put out an update for TF2. That means we're now going to get a cut of TF2 percentages. But does that mean that TF2 has to make more money for us to get those percentages? Meanwhile, I could make a Dota skin, and Dota is fucking hot. And that's why the next big full game is, hey, look, that Deadlock is a potential for millionaires being made at Valve.
If you make the skin that everybody wants, fuck yeah, that is a huge incentive. That is your bonus. That's your Christmas fucking. That's everything. Yeah. Okay.
Like that little goblin bitch that we talked, Ivy, the little goblin. Okay, literally, who on the team made the best hat for Ivy? Here's your bag of gold.
That's it,
sir.
That's it. Yeah, I get it. That makes so much more sense.
Who made that skin that people are buying to rip to put into their digital pornographies? Here you go, sir. Here's $1 million.
Or who will make the Yamato skin that'll like make her look a little less weird with the stretched out head?
Yeah,
and just give her a cool hat or something.